Since we last met, hopefully everything has been great. As we continue, we want to find out, or we need to add on the information that we've been having as regards to academic English for academic purposes. Like we said that English for academic purposes, it requires you to have all the skills, all the English skills in order for you to achieve your academic journey. In the academic journey, you will need to understand to have the reading, writing, speaking, and also listening. Sorry, I said reading, speaking, writing, and listening. We always combine all these skills so that you can make your learning easy, and also when it comes to critical analysis of the content, you know very well what you are doing. So I want us to look at what we're terming as academic English for academic purposes, and also listening. Starting with listening or academic listening, it refers to the ability to understand and comprehend spoken language in academic context such as lectures, presentations, discussions, and academic conversations. Right now, we are in class. Right now, we are in class. The question is, do you understand what I'm talking about, or do you understand what I'm saying? So it starts by you listening to what I'm saying, and then you comprehend it. In a way of learning language, or when we are learning languages, what happens? What happens? We tend to transform our English, our language, our local language to English. Even when you hear the information in English, first of all, your brain first converts it to your local language in order to do what? In order to strike a balance of the understanding. So we are saying that to understand and comprehend the spoken language in academic context. So what happens? We need to see how you understand the content. As I'm teaching, this is lecture. It is a lecture. Even when you attend English, when you attend the English presentations and also public lectures, do you understand what they are talking about or not? We need to take note of that. Then also, it is a critical skill that allows scholars to engage with complex ideas. It is a critical skill that allows scholars to engage with complex ideas, theories, and information presented orally. So it is a skill. You as an individual, how do you interact? How do you interact with the listening in order to come up with a different understanding of what you're looking at? Like I said, it is a critical skill that allows scholars to engage with complex ideas, theories, and information presented orally. You listen to what they're talking about, and then you analyze that information, and then you go on to, you analyze the information, and then you go on to break it down into the understandable content. Key aspects of academic listening. One is listening to lectures. At times, like when, I don't know whether you have been attending English classes or you have tried to look at English classes or have ever attended any English class, but when we are learning a language, Faima is saying your voice is a fast, so slow. You people, you're not hearing me, or I'm a bit fast?
No, teacher, we are hearing.
We are hearing, teacher, but it means that you are explaining and you are reading so fast.
Okay, maybe. Okay, thank you. So what we are saying is that a key aspect of academic listening, we start with listening to lectures, like the way we are doing right now. We are listening to the lecture, then participating in academic discussions. Academic discussions, in most cases, I tend to ask questions. I tend to ask questions to you and you respond. The way you always respond is you're responding in or to academic discussions. Then also, we are saying understanding research presentations. Research presentations. So to understand the research presentations, whenever someone makes a research, goes on to present it to the community or the individual or the audience who are going to use that information for improvement of their academic purposes and also their well-being or increasing their knowledge. So what happens? We find that when it comes to our research presentations, whenever you go for a research presentation, it will always be easy for you to understand what they are talking about because you have developed the academic listening skills. And this is understanding. Engage with academic podcasts and interviews. I don't know whether you people have tried to have interviews in English or any other language. And maybe in your local language, you may have experienced such, but have you gone through an interview in English? So what happens? You need to always be attentive and listening to what you're being asked in order to be in position to answer. This requires you to take time. This requires you to accept and also be interactive. To be interactive is to get used to the conversations, the oral conversations that are being given. We may look at podcasts. Some of you like listening to podcasts and also listening to English speeches, also motivation speeches. This one is part of the listening skill. You may listen to the podcast with an aim of learning new things or either gathering new information to add on what you have. Maxtor's iPhone, try to write your full name, please. Nasteho also and Mohammed, try to write your full names to help me take the roll calls. Thank you. What are the common academic listening? Common types of academic listening. The different types of academic listening. One, we're talking about lectures, which we are doing right now. We are saying to understand and grasp the main ideas, key points and concepts presented by professors or instructors during academic lectures. Skills required, listening for many ideas. As I'm explaining, you pick out the main ideas or the content that you think that is helpful. Supporting details, those are the explanations, examples, and understanding academic vocabulary and terminologies or terminology. So we are seeing that in order for you to understand, to develop the skill, you always need to be attentive to pick up the required necessary information for your academic understanding and also acquisition of new knowledge. Acquisition of new knowledge. That is the first common type of academic listening to lectures. Two, research presentations. The research presentations, what do we mean? Some of you, as you go on, you're going to involve yourselves in making research about different problems challenging or being affecting affecting the different communities where you live. So after you drafting everything, the research proposal, the research report, you have to present it to the community. You have to present it either to funders or donors. As a way of presenting them, what happens? They have to listen. If you are among the audience, you will have to listen and pick the understanding of what the presenter is giving out. So we are saying the purpose of academic research presentation to comprehend research findings. You want to find out what did this person find out in his research. Two, findings, methodologies. Which methods did this person use when he was carrying out his research? Which methods did this person use when he's carrying out his research? Three, in conclusions, after carrying out the research, what new knowledge, what conclusions did the person come up with that are helpful? Because every time we do research, we aim at seeing that we are creating an impact to the people or the community we are working with, or the group of people you are dealing with. You have to create an impact. That is always the case. That is always the case. So we need to always see that we are striking a balance, not only writing, but we have to see that we are creating an impact. Implications by researchers or scholars at references or academic events. The required skills is understanding technical information, data analysis, experimental procedures, and drawing inferences from presented research. It is not just a matter of listening. You need to come up with a conclusion. You need to come up with a new knowledge. What do you conclude about the information you have gathered, you have learned in the presentation, a research presentation? So that's what we are saying that you need whenever you go for any presentation, you need to understand, use the information you have gathered for the positivity. Academic discussions, these may be in terms of debates. Those are group debates. You are called upon to debate over a given topic, and you're required to either speak in Somali or English, particularly English for this case. So what is going to happen? What is going to happen? We're going to see that it requires you to use the listening skills in order for you, if you are in the side of the audience, in order for you to comprehend and understand group discussions, to contribute ideas, ask questions, and respond to peers. So is also one of the method of listening skill. Then listening for multiple perspective, arguments, opinions, and engaging in critical thinking to participate actively effectively in academic conversations, to participate effectively in academic. So by doing that, we are seeing it is giving you a chance that yes, as you get involved in the debates and seminars, you need to listen to what the topic is about and then go on to comprehend it in your own understanding, in your own way of understanding. Podcasts and interviews. Yes, I've given this as an example before, that majority of you prefer listening to podcasts in your free time in order to acquire new knowledge. Yes, podcasts are always important. You earn new things in these podcasts. You are always guided and motivated at times when you feel like you're low. So that means we need to see that we're putting everything into consideration. So the necessary skills we are saying are listening to academic podcasts, experts, interview, and information talks to gain insights, knowledge, and different viewpoints within a specific academic field. Within a specific academic field. Understanding specialized topics, research discussions, and theories is paramount for you if you are to be effective. You need to understand these cases. Conference presentations. Conference presentations are not far different from research presentation, even though the conferences, you may go there for a particular topic of discussion whenever you're called upon to do so. So it may not be too different from the academic research, because our topics are always discussed in public, and also the audience takes on a point of direction. So listening to presentations at academic conferences by scholars and researchers on various topics related to the field of study. So what does it mean here? We are saying it helps you to comprehend specialized research findings, methodology, and theoretical frameworks in formal academic setting. The information that you gather here, it will always help you to shape your academic direction, your academic understanding of facts. So we need to be more and more analytical when it comes to this. Then academic debates, I've talked about these. Under the academic debates, these ones, you are involved within the topics of discussion. Unlike for the conferences and also research presentation, you may not be in position to be involved. But when it comes to debates and you're called upon, you are part of the individuals who are either going to defend the topic or who are going to analyze the topic. So listening to structured debates on academic topics where participants present arguments, you come up with your argument on what you think it is and what you think the idea should have been. Present arguments, counter arguments, and engage in critical analysis of facts. Critical analysis of facts. Another one is, we are saying that skills required, you need to have an understanding and evaluating different viewpoints and logical reasoning, persuasive arguments. Yes, whenever it comes to debating, you need to have a persuasive language and make sure people pick the idea you're trying to communicate, what you intend to communicate to a given group of people. That is always our main objective and idea. Logical reasoning, persuasive arguments, and drawing conclusions based on debate content. Basing on debate content. Characteristics of academic listening. Academic listening, one, you need to actively listen or active listening, focusing on understanding the content and making an effort to comprehend the information being presented. So in order to see that we are understanding the academic listening or listening, which is topics related to academics, what happens? It requires you, at least we are going to find that sometimes we have notebooks, if not always. we have notebooks where we record the information we have learned and also check afterwards, after the presentation, we always need to come back and see that what we recorded, is it in line with what we wanted? Because not only listening, but you also need to comprehend. Even afterwards, you analyze that information. The only way of analyzing that information is when you have understood it and also break it down into the understandable means. Then note-taking skill. Whenever you listen to ideas, new ideas, we intend to outline them somewhere in our notebooks so that we don't forget them. We always capture main ideas. We also support details or later review study. This one I've talked about, details for later review and study. You can analyze your data. You can review your information at a later date when if you recorded that information. You can review it at a later date. Critical thinking, identifying logical fallacies. Fallacies, these are statements which have hidden meaning and you have to conclude on them. Biases, evaluating validity of arguments, and also analytical listening, being able to analyze and synthesize complex information presented orally. Can you break down the information you have gained into an understandable way or not? Vocabulary and terminology. Vocabulary and terminology. Understanding technical language used in lectures, research presentation, and academic discussion. We're looking at different ways how we're using the academic skill, listening skills in your academic journey. So if you don't take notes, you can critically think or analyze the information in broken format. You break it into easily understandable means, into easily understandable content. Listening for reference, making connection between ideas and identifying underlying messaging. You can also try to compare the information that you already know. And what is being presented. So by doing that, it gives you a chance to see whether the information you had has been right, or you are comparing to see if the new information is better compared to the previous one that you knew. Discerning speakers' intentions. What did the speaker aim at communicating? Can you break down the information and you understand what the speaker is aiming at communicating or sending to you in his or her conversation? Then, engagement with different discourses. To engage with the different discourses, To engage with different discourses, we are trying to look at how various academic discourses, or including scientific, social, and academic, social, and scientific, for better understanding of the subject you're talking about. Multitasking abilities, understanding many ideas, taking notes, analyzing content, and following the flow of information, and also cultural awareness. So all these are different listening skills that we intend to use. We have to use in order to get the understanding of what we are learning, and also break it down into future or into other information necessary for our understanding, and also using it in a new area of study. We can use it in different ways. Whenever you learn a new information, whenever you land onto a new information, you need to utilize it and also see that everything works in the direction as why you're acquiring that information, not just to keep it there. Pre-listening strategies. Before you even start listening, what do you need to put into your consideration? Before you listen to anyone, what do you need to put into consideration? What do you need to put into consideration? That is what we need to understand. Pre-listening strategies. We are saying reading the title, heading, and subheadings of the listening material to get an overview of the topic. Before you even go for a presentation, you need to find out what are they going to talk about. The reason as why you want to find out is to have the heads up on the content or the information you're going to look at. That is always important. Subheadings, listening, predicting the content based on the title and an introductory information provided. What do you expect? You have known the title. You have known the information that is going to be shared. What do you predict? What do you think is going to be included? That is what we mean by saying predicting. You tend to predict what is going to come next. In most cases, whenever you predict what is coming next, it gives you a chance of understanding that content before even someone goes to break it down for you. One was pre-listening, pre-listening strategy or previewing the topic. 2, we are looking at activating prior knowledge. To activate the prior knowledge, we are saying that recalling what you already know about the topic or related. So there is a topic, let us say they are going to talk about unemployment. You need to listen to it first. You go on and look at the information you already know about unemployment. How is it related to the topic you're going to listen to? Making connections between the new material and the existing knowledge that you already have. Bridging the gap, creating a bridge between the two. Then the setting listening goals. What do you intend to achieve at the end of it all? What do you intend to benefit? Is it just listening? Or you want to gain knowledge? What do you aim at getting at the end of that listening you're going to do? You are going to have, if it is a presentation, what is the main objective of going for that presentation? Remember, we said that you have created a link, you have created a bridge between the information that you already know and the one that they're going to share with you. Then the question is, is it helping you to create a new knowledge or it is not? Predicting the content, that is anticipating what information or ideas that may be discussed in the listening, then generating listening material, then generating questions out of the content you already know. Then you need to gather information or questions to ask about the related topic or something, or that topic that is being discussed. Reviewing vocabularies, creating mental framework. All these, we are looking at the different steps you need to take before listening. Reviewing of vocabularies, pre-learning or familiarizing yourself with specialized vocabulary that may be used in the listening. You need to know before they even start presenting the information. You need to know that you're up to date of what is going to be shared. Creating mental framework, preparing mental map to the topic to guide your understanding during the listening. Remember, we are looking at the steps you're doing before even you go to do the listening. Even like, I may give an example, even before you came for class, what were you prepared for? You know, our course is English for academic purposes. Yes. How did you prepare yourself even before you came for the lecture? So what you're hearing now and what you already knew, it gives you a chance to understand the content that you're talking about. And again, it is where in the pre-stages is where you identify that, okay, if teacher is going to talk about this, yes, what questions can I ask him? Which questions are available that have challenged me as regards to the same? How is this course related to the others? And why am I taking on this course? All these are aimed at creating understanding, but you all generate that idea and knowledge before you come in for the class. Visualizing, those are always images, pictures, so that you get to understand more the topic. You get to know if it is a topic that you have had or you have to discuss about. You need to get even the pictures, the reality of what you're going to talk about. Imagining scenarios or situations related to the topic to aid comprehension. So you need to bring in even the pictures that are related to the topic that is being discussed. We're talking about English for academic purposes. How do you break it down into your understanding so that it fits in within your limits and demands? So these strategies help students to listen, to approach listening tasks more effectively and engage with the content in a more focused and powerful manner. So once we apply all these strategies, as you continue with your academic journey, every time you come across the listening, those are the presentations, research presentations, debates, and so on. You need to be prepared even before you go for those debates, so that you if you want to learn new things, not just to attend, but also to see that you're benefiting. You learn and also benefit, or you add on the knowledge that you have gained. You need to see that you're approaching it with an open mind and being prepared to do that. You need to be well prepared and organized in order to take on the direction, in order to understand what is being discussed. Is it understandable? Hello? Is it understandable?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. So the next part I want us to look at is the academic writing. I think you're doing academic writing as a full course. You're doing academic writing as a full course. For my case, I'm just looking at what you need to know in English for academic purposes. I may not go in details to break down each and everything. But when it comes to academic writing, remember we said that the skills you need for English academic purposes, you need all the English skills in order for your education journey to be effective and interesting. You need to be well equipped with the skills. These skills we said that is reading, listening, writing, and speaking. All these skills, if you are to be successful in your academic journey, they must be fully developed, and you must be able to use them so that you achieve your intended goal of learning. At the end of the course, you even appreciate why you did the education or you went to study. So academic writing, we are saying that academic purposes, or English for academic purposes, focusing on writing process is essential to help students develop the skill needed to produce effective academic papers. If you are to write an effective academic paper, there are standard procedures you have to follow. There are standard formats you need to follow, not to miss out any. Like, I don't know whether you have looked at writing the research, how the format of a research proposal, a full research, then also a format of a formal letter, a format of a CV, because those are supposed to be covered under academic writing. All those are supposed to be covered under the academic writing. Shortly, please. Let me get back. Sorry for that. Okay, we're still saying, we are saying that it focuses on the process, writing process, which is essential to help you students develop skills needed for effective writing effective academic papers. You're going to write your thesis books by the end of your academic years, possibly in the second or third year. So even academic writing is very important, and you need to know that. So as you're writing, some of you are going to be good at research, and some of you are also going to be employed by organizations to write, research, or also be writers. So this skill needs to be well developed if you are to be effective and successful. Developing academic skills, developing academic writing skills. One, we are saying that understanding the academic audience. The academic audience, those are the people who are going to listen to your content. If you write a book, who are the people who are going to read it? The people who are going to read it are your audience. If it is a university and it has requested you to write a thesis book, that thesis book, the university is going to be the audience. And they are going to listen to what you're going to write. So as you write, meaning you're going to be talking to the professors, to doctors, your information has to line in that category. Then, tailoring language and style for academic readers. If you're writing for small children, the English you're going to use is not going to be the same English you're going to write for high school individuals, considering the purposes and context of the writing. Why are you writing? So in order to understand your audience, you need to even break down the reason as to why you're writing. Is it for academic purposes? Is it for money? Is it to pass time? Or is it for just to see your enjoyment? It is your leisure. These are different ideas. So you need to understand your audience. Then pre-writing stage, before you even start writing, what do you need to do? Every time you are to write, there is information you have to put in place before you do anything. One, select a topic or research question. What do you want to write about? What do you want to talk about? That is the topic. Then which questions do you intend to answer? That is going to be based on the research topic you're going to be writing on. Conducting research and gathering material before you write. Even like today, I'm going to give you the writing assignment. Today, I'm going to send you the writing assignment in our Google Class, which is supposed to be submitted by the end of next week. When we meet, by the time we meet next week, everyone is meant to be is supposed to have submitted that assignment to our Google Class. So even before you start writing that assignment, let us consider that assignment as our writing academic, you're going to write for academic purposes, because it is going to be assignment for marking or for marks. So you're going to look at the topic I'm going to give you, then you conduct a research or you gather materials. How do you gather materials? You're going to go on internet or go in the library, read about the topic that I'm going to give you. So you gather that information, then generating ideas and creating an outline. After getting the information, then you need to build on that information you have gained or you have gathered to create a new outline of information. You create a new center for the information, then formulating a clear thesis statement. Now you have to write exactly what you're going to present or send as your writing assignment. Research skills in writing. So you need to, as you prepare, you have to search. You have to search about what you're going to write about. Searching for content, searching for academic sources, evaluating source credibility and relevance, note-taking techniques, and also synthesizing information and avoiding plagiarism. All these must be considered. Organizing idea and structure in order to meet the required. So as you're going to write your assignment, it has to be in terms of the introduction, body, and also conclusion. The structure of academic paper, every academic paper, it has an introduction, it has a body, and it has also the conclusion. Even your assignment, it has to be in the format of introduction. You introduce the topic, talk about it, then the body, include the information that is being required or requested, and then how do you conclude? How do you break down your ideas to come up with, in other words, to come up with the new ideas? What did you suggest? If it is a problem, what solution are you generating for that problem? Develop coherent paragraph with topic sentences and supporting details using translation to connect ideas. Also create a logical flow and cohesion. A logical flow and cohesion. During the writing, you have to first write a draft. You need to first write a what? A draft. This draft is like having a lot of things, but you have to break it down and also come with a clear point of direction. Start with a strong introduction, presenting arguments and supporting evidence, analyzing and interpreting data, incorporating proper citation and references. You have to break it down. You have to break down the different information, starting from the introduction. What are your arguments and what is your supporting evidence? Information you're having to support your arguments. Analyze and interpret the data. Then after writing the first draft, you have to revise it and edit it to check for clarity, refining, and also changing some of the words that you have used, the vocabularies to meet the standards and also the people you're communicating to, improving clarity and coherence and consistency to see that. Remember, when you start with a draft is like a map of what you intended to write. Then you go on to summarize or to improve it in order to see that it meets with the demands, in order it meets the standards of the writing. Improving clarity, coherence, and checking the grammar, comprehension, checking grammar, punctuation, and sentence structure. These ones, you started by writing a draft. Then you're revising it and editing. To revise it, to check for errors, and also you edit to improve clarity and also make people understand what you're writing about. Academic style and language. Your writing must be based on the academic writing styles. Formality in academic writing. When you're writing an application letter, it's not the same way you're going to write a letter to your friend or your brother or your hoyo. No, it is different. Academic letters are always in the same format, and that format has to be followed. Hopefully you have looked at that. Formal letters, we have the information of you, the sender, then followed by the date, followed by the recipient information and address, then the salutation, body, conclusion, and then the signature. That is a normal style. I think you have looked at this. If I'm not mistaken, then you have to look at them. Using academic vocabulary and terminologies, avoiding informal language and colloquiations, in other words, words which do not have clear meaning. Avoid balancing clarity and complexity. Make sure that what you're writing is clear, even if it is difficult, but it is clear and a person can understand it. Citations and referencing. Understanding the importance of citation in academic writing. In other words, the references, where have you got the information from? If you're making your research, yes, you have written, is it your information or you have got it from somewhere? You have read somewhere, it is where you got the information from. That is what we intend to mean by citation and references. Your sources, where you got the information that you have used it to write or develop on your ideas. Proper formatting in text, citation and reference lists, and also using citation management tools. These tools are also in our Word documents. Whenever we're writing, you can use those tools. Proofreading. After summarizing and also revising, you have to proofread to check for more errors. Grammar, spelling, punctuation, checking for the formatting and layout. Ensuring consistency in style and formatting. Final review before submission. You have to review. Reviewing at times is peer-to-peer. If you're having friends, it is better when you give them your content or your book. They read through it before you submit it. They give you their point of view, and also if it requires you to remove some or also improve, it is also recommended in most cases. Academic integrity and avoiding plagiarism. Like we said, that references. For us to identify that indeed the information, yes, is right, you need to show us, you give credit to the person where you obtain the information from, other than saying that it is your information, yet you copied it from another source. We always have to give credit to our sources. Where we have got the information from, we need to give it credit all the time. Defining plagiarism and its consequences, using proper citation and references, and also strategies for maintaining academic integrity. Review and feedback. Yes, people after reading your content, they have to review it and give you the feedback. The importance of seeking feedback from peers or instructors. Your professors will all tell you what you have done well and where you have gone wrong. Providing constructive feedback to improve the writing. Not every feedback is bad. It aims at helping you to achieve or improve where you went wrong. Revisiting or revising based on peer review or feedback. I told you before you even submit your book for like to your department or to the university or any book, if it is for publication, before you even publish it, you need to have a group of friends who can read it through and also tell you whether it is right or whether you have to adjust some information or not. All these help in achieving academic purposes as you continue with your journey. Is it understandable to everyone? Hello. Okay, Suleiman is saying yes. Do we have any questions as regards to what I've been talking about? Any question, please? You can unmute yourselves, or you can write it in our comment section. Yes, class. Questions, you can unmute yourselves, or you can write your question in our comment section. Okay, Nasteha is saying there is no question. Others? Okay, if there is no any question, I'm going to upload today this work, the video and also the PPT to our Google Class, and I'm also going to upload our assignment. The assignment is supposed to be done within the due course by next week. By the time we get back on Wednesday next week, the deadline is going to be Wednesday next week, the class time. After the class, no submission. So allow me to stop here for today. Let's meet next week if Allah says same time, same class. Have a
Okay,
good
teacher.
evening.
Have a good evening.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.